I'm joined now by 2024 FEL Radical Cup Canada champion Kenny Riedmann to talk about the 2024 season. We'll start right off with the opening weekend at CTMP on the Victoria Day Speedfest as part of that event. So you led the opening 23 laps of that first race before being clipped by a spinning car. Ended up having a DNF, but got it repaired and came back to win race two. How would you describe sort of those ups and downs of that opening weekend?
I mean, yeah, that was a tough one. Just starting out the season round one already behind the eight ball in points. But we knew that we had the speed to get it done if we just kept plugging away at it. So yeah, not the result we wanted, but kind of proved that we had the speed to compete and just went from there.
Yeah, and I guess heading from that event, you managed to finish runner-up in both races at Calabogie, then swept the three events at Toronto, so able to sort of pick up some success there, and that gave you the points lead. So after that opening round DNF, how did that sort of affect your approach heading into those events at Calabogie and Toronto?
I knew that I just needed to win as many races as I could. Calabogie, I mean, that's Owen's home track, and it rained all weekend. Really good at that track, really good in the rain. So I knew that that one would be difficult and, just get as many points as I could, even though I was falling even further behind in the points race. But just knowing that Toronto and CTMP were coming up, I figured I could make them up.
Toronto, of course, a big event. We had the Radical Cup North America, so a bit of a combined field. And then you went from there to win the two races in the next event at CTMP, 3 out of 4 overall for the year at a track that you sort of grew up at. So, how special was it to pick up those consecutive victories at Toronto and CTMP?
Yeah, that was very important for the championship. Like it would have been really hard to win the championship if I didn't win those 5 races in a row. It gave me a lot of confidence. Yeah, just got us just a big enough points gap that I didn't have to win at all when we went to Tremblant at the end of the year. So just had to stick back and just collect some points.
I guess out of that streak of victories, were there any that sort of stood out to you compared to the others?
I think it was the first race, the Labor Day weekend at Mosport, at CTMP, sorry. Uh, that one was, a pretty demanding win. I felt really good in that race. The following race I won by a lot as well, but Owen had car problems, so I don't think that that's really representative of my pace. But just to be able to know that Owen didn't have any issues with the car and just really put my head down, build a gap, gave me a lot of confidence.
You had a DNF in the first race at Mont Tremblant, but points didn't count there. Then you finished runner-up in the second race to clinch the championship. It was the series' first time racing at that track as well. So how would you describe that finale weekend?
There was a lot of issues that we all were struggling to overcome with the noise. That's why it was a non-points race on the first race there. It was just really difficult for us, especially the people with the older generation radical cars, to keep the noise down. So we were doing a bunch of crazy stuff, cutting exhaust apart, welding or like riveting stuff onto our exhaust and putting foam in our cowlings and everything. So that was tough. I think if the series does go back there in the future, they'll be a bit better prepared. We were kind of blindsided on that one. Um, so yeah, that was kind of just a weird weekend all around.
Yeah, I guess that is sort of the weird thing with Mont Tremblant compared to other tracks where they don't have that sort of noise restriction that they do. But yeah, overall this season you won, I guess, 6 races, won the championship, and in your third season racing here in the Radical Cup Canada. So how did it feel to win the championship?
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, that was the goal coming into the season. Um, and, you know, we did it. It felt amazing to win a championship in a car. I won three on motorcycles. Started doing the car thing just for fun and yeah, felt really good.
Yeah, you mentioned those motorcycle titles, three-time CSBK Pro Sport Bike champion, and that those all came about a decade ago, 2014 to 16 consecutively. So how would you compare your title and your success here in the Radicals to your titles and success in motorcycles?
Well, the motorcycle success took a little bit longer to achieve because I was kind of learning how to race motorcycles, but just racing in general. I think a lot of my experience in motorcycle racing helped coming into the radical. So there was like racecraft and just how to mentally deal with the race. I think I already had a lot of experience with that. I just had to learn how to drive, so it came a little bit easier.
Kenny Riedmann, champion in the Radical Cup Canada. Thank you for speaking with me and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for having me.